for being here. We're gonna start. Oh, there it goes. There's a guy fixing our stuff here at the house. Okay, good. All right, let's see. I am going to also so right now you can also go on Zoom. So because I'm gonna have to share a screen, and I was trying to figure out how to share a screen on Zoom, and on YouTube is too much work. And if you are on Instagram, if you want to see the share screen, you can go to the Zoom link. It's bit.ly / Anna Zoom link. It's on my YouTube page or on my website. If you just if you go to annafarrell.com, click on the Zoom icon, you can see the share screen that what we're going to do right now. And this video is going to be recorded and put on YouTube. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to share the link here on Instagram. It's going to be on YouTube with this shared screen. Because today we're going to be talking about some things that you may not have done it before. If you've done it before, congratulations. You're in a very specific class. There's a lot of people that are unaware that they can check their Social Security earnings and what their points are in order for them to prepare for retirement. So as I shared on my video today, we were talking to agents, and we're talking about this topic because as we prepare for retirement and as we plan what income we're going to be getting in the future, we need to know how much money we have coming in, right? So you have your investments, you have your real estate, you have your crypto, you have your savings, all kinds of stuff that you have spread out in order for you to have a good return for your investment. But Social Security is a part of that retirement. And so if you have, my clientele is international as well. So there's some people that live in the United States, work in the United States, but they cannot receive the benefits of Social Security. They're not legally entitled to that. So I have a green card, if you have a Social Security, then you are going to be able to collect those benefits. But if you don't, then you won't. So if you are an American or if you have a green card and you pay into Social Security, you'll be able to collect those benefits as you choose retirement or if you claim disability. There's other ways that you can also collect your Social Security through, either Medicaid or other financial needs. But we're going to keep it simple today. And so the question on the phone call this morning was, I just wait for my statement coming once a year on my mailbox, and I just check my points. And so people just kept saying, what are the points? How do I collect points? How do I manage that part of my portfolio for my retirement? And so that's what we want to discuss today. So if you've never gone to your Social Security portal so you can see how much you have accumulated, if you have your 40 points, what would be the best age for you to retire? How much money you're going to receive at each specific date? When are you able to, if you need to claim for disability, and what amount would you be receiving? And then also to figure out how you can match that with whatever other retirement planning you're making, then you can have a better picture of what your future is going to look like. And so the question that I get all the time is, how do I even start with that? And so if you are not aware, there is a website that you can go and sign up and create a portal with the name and password that you can see your portal. So you don't have to wait for that statement to come in your mailbox once a year to tell you how much money you have accumulated in points, and that's going to translate into your Social Security benefits. So the website is ssa.org, Social Security Administration.org, ssa.org. So I'm going to, if you are on Zoom right now, you'll be able to see, I'm sharing the screen right now so you can see what we're talking about. So, there he goes. Share the screen. And so if we go to ssa.gov, you'll be able to open up ssa.gov. You'll be able to create a profile. So what we want to do is, if you have created this profile on Social Security Administration prior to 2021, you already have a name and a password, and then you can log in. After 2021, they created something that's called ID Me. And the process to create your profile there, it's a little bit different. So you have to do face recognition. You have to take a picture of your ID. Regardless how you do that, you're going to be able to then create your profile there and then have access to that online anytime you want to. There's usually two part recognition. So you're always going to receive a text message to confirm. So make sure that whatever the telephone number that you set up on your profile, you can receive text messages, because otherwise you always receive the text message with the code that you have to input again for them to be able to keep your account secure. So you got to do that. So I have set up that, and by being a financial advisor, a good portion of my clients have asked me to help them set that up. So I've been able to help clients set that up, and then they are actually sometimes, including the clients that I manage their portfolio, they want me to be able to have access to those reports so I can best manage their planning for retirement. So today, without sharing the names of these clients, I will be able to share statements that show, I'm going to show two clients that show that they're fully funded, which means that they have worked enough years and they funded the Social Security, so they're able to collect. And I'm going to share a portfolio of a client that, or a portal of a client that has not yet gotten those points. I think I have one of those. And then I have another one that's going to show that they already have the points, but they have not reached the retirement age yet. So, which means that they can wait a little bit longer if they want to. The longer you wait, of course, the more money you'll receive once you retire. So the reason why we're doing this is to educate you that you have access to this information. So again, if you're a citizen, if you have a green card, you have access to that, because as you work, you're paying your FICA taxes, and that's funding your Social Security. So in short, Social Security is a way for you, it's a program that the government offers for you to be able to receive some money as you retire. So if you work for somebody, you work for a corporation, you work for a boss, they give you a paycheck. Before they give you that paycheck, they take away your Social Security taxes, and they send that sent to the government, and the government invests that. So then when you retire, you have income. If you become disabled, you can use that system to be able to receive financial help from the government. Your Medicare and your Medicaid are funded from the same exact taxing authority. So as you're funding these organizations or this program, you're going to receive that in benefits as you retire, as you become disabled, or as you need medical assistance from these programs, both Medicare and Medicaid. I'm not going to go into those two, the difference between those two. We can do another phone call for that specific topic. If that's what you want to hear, just go ahead and make a comment over here, either on Instagram, Rumble, wherever I'm at right now, Zoom or YouTube, any of these, just make a comment, and then we'll add that on to the list of topics that we want to cover. So again, the point system that the government establishes is that you want to work at least 10 years. So you have to have at least 10 working years in order for you to fund your Social Security to the fullest, for you to be able to then claim the benefits. And so you can actually apply to start receiving the benefits at your choice. You have a scale of dates, and also the amounts that you'll be receiving at that date. Because the government is investing that money, the longer you leave the money there invested, of course, the more you'll receive later in life. So if you start your retirement earlier, you're going to receive less money. If you leave there invested, you're going to receive more money. But that doesn't mean that is the one is better than the other. It just means that the longer you leave it there, the more you're going to get monthly. Now, as a financial advisor, I want to point out that that strategy needs to be addressed if you are, for example, thinking about inflation. right? The other thing that you want to think about is cost of living compared to the money that you'll be receiving compared to later. The other thing is that, are you a savvy investor? Are you going to be taking this money and growing a lot more than the government would on your behalf? So let's say that you start collecting your unemployment earlier, but then you know how to invest, you know how to grow that money instead of just leaving it there for the next 5 years or whatever, and then having a difference of, I don't know, maybe $300, $400 like extra a month. But if you took it right now, you could invest somewhere else and have a much bigger return by yourself. And as a financial advisor, I would throw it out there that I think that you are a better investor than the government is. I would say there is always a cost for the government to run this, the whole system. And so I would say withdrawing earlier than later is a smart financial strategy. So if you have a choice to retire earlier and start collecting your retirement earlier, for me personally, I will do that as early as I can because I know how to invest my money. I know how to grow that money. I don't want to depend on the government to do that for me. That's my personal opinion. Everybody's different. Sometimes you just want to let them do it and just collect your money later, especially if you already have income and you don't depend on that income and you can let that sit and grow a little bit more. That's up to you. So, but there's options. You do not have to wait to make it better, bigger money. So I'm just going to throw it out there. I am sharing the screen. I'm going to stop for just a second so I can pull up these statements and not show people's names. So just give me just a minute. And then again, like I said, if you want to see these, the stuff that I'm going to be sharing, just go to the Zoom link on my website and you'll be able to read these statements with me. So the first one that I'm going to share with you is an earnings statement from this is a lady. Let me see if I can share this now. Okay. So the first statement is from a client of mine. That's a female, and she's already retired. So she has the earnings statement from her regular stuff. But what you want to see here is what she paid into. So right now she's retired. She's no longer paying into the system. She fully funded it. And just to show you the total. So throughout her working years, she contributed $68,900 to her Social Security through her taxes that she paid as she worked. And her employers matched that at $71,000. So about $140,000 worth of investment into the system. And then another additional $18,000 by her and by her employers for Medicare. Right now, she's healthy. She doesn't need any medical care or anything like that. So she's just using it for regular. But now, because she has Medicare, she does not have to be paying for medical insurance anymore, where she was paying a portion through her employer. So as she retired, she has Medicare to use for her medical, doctor's visits, any hospital, anything that she needs medically wise. She's using Medicare now. She doesn't need to pay out of pocket to have medical benefits. So, but she paid $18,000 throughout her career, and now she has that service available to her from the government. Same thing with her Social Security. Now she is receiving X amount of dollars monthly. That's her retirement that she gets from the government. What she receives here is a very small portion of what she was making as an employee of a corporation. She was making, I'm just going to go ahead and disclose that she was making $12,000 a month working full time. And now she gets around $2,500 in Social Security benefits. Okay. But because she prepared and she has other income from other sources, she can continue living her lifestyle. But it is because she planned ahead. She knew. In fact, she is a HR department director, which means she knew all about investments and retirement planning. That's why she knew. I'm going to share with you guys another one. So if you are watching on Zoom, I guess, right? If you're watching on Zoom, you'll be able to see this. This is another earnings record from another um, client of mine who, again, oh, no, this is the same person. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me see if I can find it here. I'm going to stop sharing so I can open um, the other earnings report from another person that has not fully funded yet. So when you have not fully funded, okay, here it is. When you have not yet fully funded your Social Security, you're not going to have 40 work credits. So when you every year when you're working, you can add no more than 4 points per year. There is exceptions to that rule, but everybody, that when you work, you gather 40 points per year as you are working. And just like an IRA or just like a 401k, you have a max that you can um, contribute to Social Security. You don't do that by yourself. It's through your taxes that you do that. Okay. So it's for $1,640, $1,640 of wages or self-employment income that can be added yearly over there. So when you earn 6,500, you have earned the 4 credits for that year. And then, so you have to do that for a minimum of 10 years. When you have those 10 years completed, now you have your 40 work credits. When you have 40 work credits, now you can start you can start claiming your benefits, not before them. So if you have not yet accumulated 40 work credits, you're not eligible to claim retirement or to collect retirement, even if you are that old. So it doesn't have to do with your age, but it has to do with the credits that you have accumulated during your work years. Let's say that you have been a stay-at-home mom all of your life, and after your kids go to school, that's when you start working. That's when you start collecting your points. So the there's other ways to be able to collect Social Security, and as if you've never earned income, and if you are 40, 50 years old or whatever, but you have filed your taxes jointly with your spouse and you have been a dependent on that spouse, then you are able to collect um, a portion of that, a percentage of that, because your spouse was the main income earner. So you do have some of that. The screen that I'm sharing on Zoom is going to show this person has the 40 points. It's showing here that the person claimed $16,000 in earnings last year for their taxes. This person happens to be self-employed. And so it goes by what you earn yearly and how much of that earning you contribute. So the first example that I showed you guys was of a person it was a W-2 employee. This second example is from a self-employed gentleman, and he's only showing $16,000 in earnings, which whatever, but as long as he has that amount of the self-employment earned going towards his Social Security benefits, then he's still funding that. So then he will be able to collect that at retirement. So right now he is not 67 yet. So on his record, 67 will be his retirement age, and he can choose at 67 to start collecting $1,000 a month, or if he's going to wait until 70, which is 3 years later, he will collect 1,300. And it goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the phone call. If this client of mine, he's a business owner, so he's a strategist, he knows how to invest his money. It would be very wise for him, in my point of view, to go ahead and take that $1,072 at age 67, because if he's not going to need that money, that's just going to be a supplement to his actual income. He can use that thousand and he can double and triple that in a much more productive way than the government would. He's going to have to wait 3 years to add only $300 a month extra to his income, where I know him, I work with him, we do business together, so I know that he knows how to invest his money. So that $1,000 a month you translate it to $12,000 a year. What you can put that money in and grow compound interest, or in a small business investment, or whatever else he can do, he can grow that 12,000 a lot more than what he's gonna have to wait 3 years to get another only $300 a month extra. So, and that's what you want to be looking at. You want to be looking at this estimate for you to then plan your retirement. So if you don't know that this money is coming for you, or you're not planning for this money to come for you, then your portfolio is missing that piece. The other thing that I always talk to my clients is, beyond the money that you'll be receiving as a retirement, there's also the cost of health insurance that you want to consider. So with your Social Security, you also receive what is called Medicare. Medicare is a health insurance that the government provides for you, and it covers your doctor visits, it covers your prescription, and it covers your hospital visits. If you need to receive any extra care, if you are fully funded, it's pretty much a well funded program. Personally speaking, my dad used Medicare for the care of his health care when he was sick. He had lung disease, and so that was really totally covered through Medicare, which I believe really helped our family financially not have to have that extra cost. So when you have Medicare, you don't have to be paying for health insurance on the side. You can to have a supplemental health insurance, but you don't have to. So beyond receiving cash or receiving a payment as a retirement, you also have to pay health insurance, which helps you, of course, financially. So if you are watching this video and you do have to pay for health insurance right now, imagine if you could keep those dollars in your bank account and what you could do with that. So those are the options that you want to consider as you're looking at your Social Security benefits. So how do you do that? Go ahead and go to ssa.gov, open up your portal, check your totals, make sure that if you are employed, then your employer is already collecting your FICA from you, submitting that to the government for them to go ahead and fund your Social Security. But if you are self-employed, you want to have that conversation with your CPA, with your tax advisor, or the person that's filing your taxes for you, to make sure that those codes are put in place there. So then every time you are paying your taxes, you are fully funding that part of your benefits in order for you to, at retirement, be able to collect that money. So if you have not yet asked that question to your CPA, it's a good question to ask the person that's filing your taxes, to be able to. So a lot of cases where a self-employed person finds a way to eliminate as much taxes paid as possible, sometimes it's important for you to consider this part of your tax paying activity. So if you are claiming zero earnings because it's important for you to keep as much money of your business to yourself, this part of your retirement is not being funded through the Social Security. And so you want to consider, if that's something that's important to you, if you want to have the Medicare benefits, if you want to have some type of income from the government as you retire, then you need to check that with your CPA to see what you're claiming as income and as expenses. Check your Schedule C if you're S Corp, whatever the filings that you are using, make sure that that conversation is had with your CPA for you to strategize that part of your retirement income. And then, of course, the next major point about this conversation is, as you can see on these two examples, people that have worked their full career, 40 years, 30 years, whatever it is, and they have fully funded, the amount of money that you're going to receive from Social Security is not, especially if you're successful wherever you do, is not comparable to your regular salary. The first example that I showed you, the person earned an average of $12,000 a year, and right now their Social Security is $2,700. That's not even close to what the person is earning. And so what you want to do is you want to have all the other options for retirement available to you. So what is it that you are planning? What is it that you're using to additionally have for income beyond your Social Security. And there's a lot of people that are thinking, okay, when I retire, I'm going to get my Social Security and I'm going to live on that. No, it's not going to happen. If you want to keep the same lifestyle that you have and you want to have good income, Social Security alone does not cover that. So do you have investments? Do you have money saved? Do you have a 401k? Do you have an IRA? What is it that you're using that is adding on to your Social Security to be able to help you keep the same lifestyle? A couple other questions I'm going to just throw right at you, but I want you to really consider these things as you are planning for your retirement. Number one, when you are planning for a retirement, you're imagining your life at a point in time in the future, and you are going to put a plan into place, but you're trying to predict the future. So here are some questions that you want to ask yourself. Will I have a home that is paid for? Because really one of the largest expenses of a household is their mortgage or their rent. So as you retire, will you have that expense as well? If you have your house that is paid for, how much of your income can be reduced because you don't have that expense? Okay, number two, will you have a healthy lifestyle that you're going to require or not require medical assistance, medical help? So if you have taken care of your body, if you eat healthy, if you don't have any chronic disease, if you exercise, will that healthy lifestyle carry you to retirement, or will you be needing nursing, constant care, medical, prescription drugs, therapy, because those things cost money. And using Medicare, using Medicaid, and using outside sources that you can purchase for yourself, those cost money. So planning for the future. Nobody knows if I don't know if I'm going to have an accident, if I'm going to have a terminal, chronic, or critical illness. I don't know that, but I wanted to plan for that. So I live a healthy lifestyle. I exercise, I eat well, I eat clean, I make sure that I take supplements, I do all the things that I can do to take care of my body, but I do not predict the future, but I do plan. So beyond taking care of myself, I do have insurance that will cover those types of conditions. And so if that were to happen to me, it would not be a financial weight on myself and on my family. So do you have those plans into place? The reason why I ask that is because a lot of people don't put that into place. They come into a time in their life where they're either already with the diagnosis or too old to be able to put those strategies into place, and it's become too costly. So then they run the risk of then being in that situation where it's too expensive for them to take care of themselves. So you want to remember that those things, the earlier you prepare for that, your strategy, that's why a well thought out, good plan strategy for your retirement is so important. We are busy working our lives. We're busy taking care of our family, and those things are for later on. I'll take care of that later. But if you are prepared right now and you sit down with a professional and have somebody that is in the business, they understand what it is to have a good plan, a good system for you, then you can live your life. You can do the things that you're good at. You can raise your family. You can build your business. You can work at the corporation that you work, not having to worry about what's going to happen in the future. It's already in place for you. Okay. So again, taking care of your health, making sure that you're protected, checking your Social Security, checking your other types of investments. That's also so important because then you can plan ahead. If you don't have a plan of action to pay for your residence, so have a home that is paid for before retirement, because then that expense is no longer in your budget. Then it allows you to have a retirement that is healthy and financially you can carry that weight. If you're only receiving a very small portion of Social Security and your retirement is going to be eaten away by the economy, and you still have those large expenses, for example, a mortgage, then you're putting yourself in a situation to not enjoy your retirement. You're going to have to work. How many times have you gone into Walmart or the grocery store and there's elderly people working over there? Do you think they want to be there? Do you think that that's something that they planned on as they raised their family and they thought, okay, I'm going to get to a point in my life where I'm going to be able to relax? And there they are packing bags at the cashier. Do you think that they want to do that? Most of the time, and I ask them, and most of the time they're there because of the health benefits or because of the extra money that they need to supplement their income that they had not planned when they were younger. Okay, same thing with health insurance and health and life insurance. You're not going to have cheap life insurance when you're 50. Okay, I am over 50. I no longer get insurance for myself. I was able to load up on insurance before 50. Right now, it's too expensive for me to buy my own. I am an insurance provider. I don't buy insurance for myself anymore because it's too expensive. I would rather use that money and go invest it somewhere else. So the money that I would put on insurance right now is best invested somewhere else. But before 50, I was able to load up on a bunch of policies for me to be able to leave a legacy for my family and also to use that as a family bank. So I strategized that. My husband sat us down, and I was 26 years old when we first had that conversation. So if you're watching this and you're young and you're able to sit down with a professional, do that today. Don't wait another minute because it's so inexpensive for you to do that. There's no cost really to sit down with the professional to do that kind of planning. And then as you prepare, as you put all those plans into place, the earlier you start, of course, the wealthier you will be at retirement. So if you have not yet taken a look at your SSA portal, check out to see what age is allowing you to start retirement, how much money they're projecting you'll be paid. Make sure that your CPA is on call, because you're going to be calling them and say, is this being fully funded? Am I contributing the most I can contribute on a yearly basis towards my Social Security? Some people say, I personally, I don't like big business, a big government. I am not a fan of big government, but Social Security is a program that I believe I need to invest in because of the benefits that will provide me. It's less than 5% of my income that goes towards Social Security and Medicare. And I'm mostly really interested in the Medicare part of that portion, which is only 2.9% of my income goes to Medicare. So I think it's important for you to understand the rules, understand the points, know how much money you're going to be getting, so then you can plan ahead your retirement. If you have never sat down with the professional and done your financial map where you strategize paying off your mortgage, putting money aside beyond your Social Security, getting an IRA opened, getting yourself some insurance, all those things that will pay out in great dividends at your retirement. This is the call. When you're watching this, it's not for by mistake. You're here before a reason, and it's important for you to do that while you're young and you're healthy, because once you have a claim, once you have a diagnosis, it's over. Okay. I was watching a guy today. I'm going to finish with this. I was watching a guy today, a financial advisor, teaching about the difference in between Roth products and traditional products. And he said something that it's a good visual. So I'm going to repeat it for you guys. I'm going to butcher it, but I'm going to try to get the idea too. He said, let's pretend that from now on, you are going to be eating with only one of the utensils. And once you choose your utensil, that's all you got for the rest of your life. So let's say you only have a fork, a knife, and a spoon. And you pick one. And from now on, for the rest of your life, you're going to only use one utensil to eat for the rest of your life. And you say, okay, I guess I'm going to choose fork because, I could cut with the fork and it's more versatile than the spoon and the knife. And then eventually it gets cold and you want to eat soup. How are you going to do that? So it's going to be an interesting choice that you made, but that's the choice that you had to make. If you treat that, so that's the point of him. When you choose one thing and and you use that one thing and that's your only thing, as you get later, you're not going to be able to switch around. If you are not prepared, just preparing yourself and your family by getting some type of an insurance for you. If you have any kind of diagnosis, you are covered. You need to do that today. Do not choose the fork right now saying, I don't need it, I'm going to get it later, because once it comes later, it won't be available to you. You do not know how many times I've been sitting in my office and I get phone calls from people that say, I want to get life insurance, I want to get health insurance, and then I start asking them their personal information about their personal history, and they start disclosing all of these conditions. You can't anymore. There's not one company that's going to approve you once you have a diagnosis. And then you sometimes you're young, but you passed on the opportunity to have a great payout and a great care because you just didn't take the time to plan ahead. And so that's my encouragement to you. Take the time to plan ahead. Get yourself life insurance with uh, uh, benefits right now for critical and chronic illness. Get yourself a family bank where you're going to be able to enjoy the benefits of that in your retirement, liquid money, tax free. Get yourself an IRA. Get yourself your portal on Social Security, and then combine all of these benefits for you to have a healthy financial future. If you're not taking care of your health, if you're not eating well, if you're not exercising, if you're not getting sunshine, vitamin D, and having a healthy lifestyle, including your mind and your soul, that's another very important step. So take care of yourself, because if you don't have the love, self-love to take care of yourself, do it for the people that love you. When you choose not to take care of yourself and prepare for yourself, you're automatically dumping that weight onto your loved ones. I'm going to repeat that. And I want you to, this is going to be the takeaway. If you're irresponsible in not taking care of your finances and your health right now, because you're lazy or because you're just tired and you don't want to do it, you're automatically dumping that responsibility on the people that love you, because they're not going to want to see you suffer. And so they're going to take care of you, but you're putting that weight on them. So if you're not doing it for somebody, if you're not doing it for yourself, do it for the people that love you the most. And I can't wait to see you next Tuesday. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here.